And each of us has the ability to do this. This is true. I know that there's some new friends joining us all the time and listening all the time. So this is true if this is the first time you've ever heard this teaching, and it's true if you're a long-time meditator. So I'm just inviting you to notice, what does it feel like if I think of myself as limited to a body? And just gently inquire, how does your energy feel, and how far does it extend if you think of yourself as limited to a body? Welcome, welcome, 1,000 welcomes to everyone. And we're meditating today, part of our series on conscious bliss. So I'll say something about that in a moment. And then the meditation topic today specifically is resolute and serene. So conscious bliss is a shorthand way of referring to something that the yogis have invited humans to live and realize for as long as there have been yogis. So we're talking millennia. This is the energy of consciousness, existence, bliss absolute, the energy of pure beingness, the energy of life itself, life immortal that shall not perish. And so if you think about what in me, what in each of us is that which shall not perish, that's what we are invited to connect with right now. And that is the energy of absolute light. It is the energy of absolute joy. It is the energy of absolute peace. It allows us to be resolute and serene, whatever it is that we're experiencing humanly in time and space. And so let's compassionately acknowledge humans can experience really profound challenges, very painful things in time and space. What the yogis say is that deeper than all of it is unconditional love. So I'm going to start to invite us to connect and feel that unconditional love. Another way to put this is, after we leave the physical, we discover we're not dead. We're still alive. What we did was stepped out of the vehicle we had been driving, the same way that you might have stepped out of a car or a train or a bus, however you traveled to join this particular meditation. And you're here. You're here in this new space. You're here. And when you step out of the physical, you gain the ability to look back at all of your experiences in time and space and to see unconditional love was with me every single step of the way. There was never a moment that I was separate from unconditional love. All the support in the universe was with me always. It was in the ground beneath my feet. It was, bless you, in the feet that I stood upon, that beautiful gold-green earth in time and space. It was the heart that beat, the heart that loved, the heart that cried. It was the heart that had questions and found answers. As soon as we ask questions, the divine rushes forth and showers solutions upon us. What we are inviting ourselves to do, and what the yogis very consistently say, is that it is possible in a human form to live in the light of heaven. We don't have to wait to leave the physical to live that energy of unconditional love always. It takes courage to be able to open our hearts and to see. So I'm starting to connect back to, we opened with a meditation where Swami Nityananda, who founded this community, invites us to see love is the only reality. What that means is laser vision. Each of us is tasked to cultivate laser vision, to be able to look past all human appearances to the contrary, and to see no matter how much human confusion and illusion and delusion there is, and let's acknowledge it is there, deeper than all of it is unconditional love. So our task is to connect every moment, not just the moments where it's easy, every moment with unconditional love. And to remember that unconditional love is the ground beneath my feet, it is the air that is breathing me, it is the light that is looking out upon time and space. And as soon as each of us connects with that energy of unconditional love, very profound, pure healing is able to share through us in whatever ways this is appropriate. So this is everything from the mama bird feeding the baby bird to the parent walking their child when their child is crying and helping their child be soothed. It's you reaching out a hand to a friend who's crying or afraid or is losing their memory. It's you choosing unconditional love when you meet with understanding and when you don't meet with understanding. It's you doing the tasks of your daily life. It's you performing the work of your daily life and letting go of all separateness so that what you feel always is the sense of all the love in the universe has got my back. I don't need to be afraid ever. For a single moment, there's not a single moment that I am separate from all the love in the universe.
Hi, I'm Purna, and I'm a karma yogi at Awake Yoga Meditation. We love to share the teachings of yoga philosophy. I mean, it's love, it's inspiration, it's peace, and this piece is for everybody. So if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. Spread that joy, y'all.
And so this is true regardless of the configuration of our lives. It's true whether we have a lot of people that we live with or we live with ourselves. It's true whether we have large families or small families or we are our own family. It's true no matter what the configuration of our lives is. All the love in the universe is with us. It is that energy of radiance and kindness and sweetness and brightness that shares through us. So for each of us in our daily life, the invitation, and it becomes a joyful urgency as soon as we have this awareness, is to connect from moment to moment with this unconditional love, to allow this unconditional love to share with ourselves. And so I'm actually inviting you right now, you can keep your eyes open, you can close your eyes, but just all the love in the universe is at my back. All the love in the universe is in me. All the love in the universe is with me. I am non-separate from all the love in the universe. So I allow joyfully and wisely all the love in the universe to fill me to overflowing. And then notice what happens. Human patterns of tension and pain and fear and distress melt away. Human patterns of identifying with limitation dissolve. They resolve. We're able to see beyond the appearance of human pain and sickness and sorrow and suffering and death. We are connected with the immortal. We are connected with that in us, that in everyone, which is unborn and which is undying. And then in daily life, as we wash the dishes, as we take care of whatever the daily tasks are, as we share whatever the talents and the skills are that we have studied and worked and prepared to share, we know that it's not the separate individual self that is sharing, it's all the love in the universe that is sharing through us. So another way to put this is, all the love in the universe is all of this, all of this. All the love in the universe is all in all. All the love in the universe is through and through. Another way of putting that is all the support in the universe. It's always here. And so each of us is invited to open, just to continually open. I open my heart to that unconditional pure love. Unconditional pure love is also the energy of conscious bliss. Unconditional pure love is the energy of the infinite. Unconditional pure love is the energy of wealth, opulence, substance, abundance. And so we have this talk and then one more on conscious bliss, and then we're moving on to a series on spiritual abundance, because all the love in the universe is also spiritual abundance, pouring forth in time and space. So what that means is the energy, the resourcefulness, the resolve, the serenity, the inspiration, the creativity, the forgiveness, the freedom, the joy, the gladness, whatever it is that you have been wanting to welcome in time and space, the source of that is right here. The source of that is always right here. And so as we listen, I'm inviting myself and all of us to open our hearts continually and be filled with that pure energy to overflowing. So if it helps you feel that directly, by all means, keep your eyes closed. Mine are open at the moment because I'm about to share some teachings. So one of the teachings from the Upanishads is that bliss is in the infinite. And the Upanishads actually say bliss is not in the finite. And so I'll just allow us to pause and notice how that feels, to notice that bliss is in the infinite. That means we're always connected to bliss, even if we are going through humanly excruciating experiences. bliss is still with us. And so just allow yourself to notice that, and then allow yourself to notice what becomes possible if we live that. One of the things that Swami Shankarananda says is, focus on spiritual nectar. Anything not aligned with it will gradually resolve and depart from your experience as you allow it to go. That's a really interesting phrasing. So each of us has to also be willing to let go of anything that is not spiritual nectar. So let go of identifying ourselves with past pain. Let go of identifying anyone else with past pain. Let go of identifying ourselves with present challenges. Let go of identifying anyone else with present challenges as well. And I'll say this again, focus on spiritual nectar. Anything not aligned with it will gradually resolve. That means ongoing practice. So ongoingly, I choose to focus on spiritual nectar. Ongoingly, I choose to focus on what is resolute and serene in me. The light in me always knows how to be resolute and serene. The light in me always knows how to focus on spiritual nectar. The light in me always knows how to meditate. So if there's ever an aspect of yourself that is struggling with meditation or resisting that stillness, just connect with the light in me. The light in me knows how to meditate. The light in me is always meditating through me. And that will always give you this feeling of inner peace, this absolute light and joy and peace. So I'm going to share again from the Upanishads. This is from the Chandogya Upanishad. The infinite is the source of bliss. There is no bliss in the finite. Bliss is in the infinite. Ask to understand the infinite. And the word that is infinite here is wholeness, allness, ongoingness, everlastingness. So it can never leave. It can never depart. Anything that can arrive can also depart. Anything that can arise can also go. And so that which is underneath all of it is the infinite and is bliss. And so each of us always is invited to be that pure energy of kindness, that pure energy of awareness, that pure energy of generosity. Another way to put this is the infinite is the source of bliss, and when we are in contact with that, then we're able to move lightly and joyfully through time and space. So we're able to lightly hold the joys of human life, knowing that they come from the source of bliss, and knowing that they will be with us for a time. And then another joy will be with us for a time after that particular joy departs. And then also, any experiences of pain, we're able to disidentify with those and to allow ourselves to have a wise neutrality in relation to them, understanding that we can bear them serenely. We can be calm in the midst of painful human experiences. Even in the midst of what is non-preferred, we can see the light within whoever it is that is encountering or enduring that painful experience. The light in them is deeper. The unconditional love in them is vaster. It is stronger. There's nothing in time or space that can dim or diminish that light that is in the other and that is in me and you and all, always. The Chandogya Upanishad invites us where one sees nothing but the infinite, hears nothing but the infinite, knows nothing but the infinite. There is the infinite. There is the one. Where one sees another, hears another, knows another, there is the finite. The infinite is immortal. The finite is mortal. And so we're invited to identify with the infinite and know that the source of all that is with us always. And when we do that, then we're able to be, for the first time in our lives, fully, freely present in our human relationships, loving with wisdom and grace and faithfulness and dedication and joy and generosity and non-attachment. And so just allow yourself to feel what that feels, to love as a human, to love other humans generously with full presence and also with non-attachment. And when we love in that way, then unconditional love is loving through us always. The Chandogya also tells us that in the infinite there is no sorrow, no suffering, and no death. And so another way to connect with this teaching and bringing us all the way back to the Gayatri mantra, the Gayatri says that this whole universe is radiance projecting into time and space. What projects into time and space is able to know sickness and sorrow and suffering and death. So we all know that. We all have observed that, we've experienced that, we've seen others experience that as well. But that in us which is eternal is always untouched by sickness and sorrow and suffering and death. So the yogis are very emphatic about this. The Buddhist teachings as well are very emphatic about this. We're invited to identify with what is beyond sickness, sorrow, suffering, and death. We are invited to identify with what is eternal, what is immortal in us. And that's the aspect of ourselves that when we step out of the body, please be here every moment that you possibly can in the physical. It's an amazing gift to be here. But when you step out of the body, you'll just realize, I'm not dead. Neither is anyone else who I ever thought from a human perspective have died. And so we're all connected across lifetimes. There is no death, ultimately. There is no loss, ultimately. And so for each of us, while here in the physical, allow yourself to connect with that reality and live that connectedness, live that ongoingness. So I have some teachings here to share as well from the Bhagavad Gita, but I think I'll share a story and then also an invitation. When we're connected with this energy of conscious bliss, we are seated inwardly in quiet always. We are seated inwardly in steadiness always. And so we always have clarity. We always have that sense of being resolute and serene in relation to time and space, in relation to the pairs of opposites, the gain and loss, the victory and defeat, the pleasure and pain that humans experience in time and space. We're able to have clarity and we're able to be resolute and serene in relation to those pairs of opposites. So each of us is invited to be seated in the heart always, resolute and serene, and seated in the heart always. And so I just invite you to connect with that. Just ask yourself, what does it feel like in me, for consciousness in me to be seated in the heart always? So you can play with it. If you have a spiritual ideal, like if you love Jesus or Krishna or Buddha or another amazing, beloved expression of the divine, if you love a teacher, they can be seated in your heart with you. They can be always with you in your heart, giving you strength, giving you courage, giving you joy, giving you hope, giving you helpfulness, giving you inspiration. And just notice what that feels like to be seated always, resolute and serene in the heart, opening to unconditional love always. Whatever you've had that question about that you've been working on lately, the source of the solution is right here in the quiet heart. So allow yourself to turn to the heart and feel that energy of connectedness, that energy of inspiration. It's the energy that allows you to keep going. It's the energy that allows you to let go of what you can't control. It's the energy that allows you to discern, am I generously and joyfully sharing the highest good that I can possibly share? Am I generously and joyously doing all that is possible and trusting the divine to do all that seems impossible to me? And when you live in that awareness, then what happens is you're allowing that infinite radiance to live through you. And you're aware that infinite radiance is actually primary. And so again, just play with this a second. When you think of who am I, are you looking at this? I'm pointing to my forearm at the moment if you're listening to this. Are you looking at this and thinking this is you? Are you looking at your human emotions and thinking that this is you? Are you looking at your human mind and your human thought patterns and thinking that this is you? Because you are infinite radiance. And so if you just allow yourself to relax your identification with the body, your identification with human emotions, your identification with human thought patterns, and allow yourself to move beyond body consciousness. Allow yourself to expand your awareness and connect with that vast radiance. And each of us has the ability to do this. This is true. I know that there's some new friends joining us all the time and listening all the time. So this is true if this is the first time you've ever heard this teaching, and it's true if you're a long-time meditator. So I'm just inviting you to notice, what does it feel like if I think of myself as limited to a body? And just gently inquire, how does your energy feel, and how far does it extend if you think of yourself as limited to a body? Beautiful human body. Amazing vehicle you all have, by the way. But just notice, how far does your energy extend? Anyone feel like gesturing with their arms? Who's in physical space? It feels kind of tiny, right? Yeah, I see people going and putting a little tiny space right here. So now I invite you to feel into the energy of your heart. And if you identify with your heart, I'm talking about your spiritual heart, not your human, wonderful, beautiful, breakable human heart. Love that human heart. But your spiritual heart, feel your spiritual heart. How far does your energy extend? It's wide. How wide? It's all of it, isn't it? So as soon as we identify with our spiritual heart, we're able to embrace all of it. And so this is the energy that allows, Karuna told a story, if you're just joining us, of a ride-sharing driver who rushed into a burning building to save a woman who was in danger. And that ride-sharing driver said, we're all spirit. That means that person was my family. From a human perspective, never seen them before, they're my family. And so when you identify with the spiritual heart and you feel how vast your energy is, and so now, again, put this in practice. Think about a question that you've had about your own life this past week, just one, whichever one. And when you identify with, I'm a body, how does it feel to contemplate that question that you've had? And now identify with, I am a spiritual heart. And contemplate that same question. And notice what happens. I see grins on people's faces. The energy of solution comes into flowing motion, because what we're doing is we're remembering that I am vaster than this body. It's an amazing gift. I hope you also could catch the cues that I was giving as well. It's an amazing gift to be here in this vehicle. That is an incredible vehicle that you are in. Whatever shape, size, form, color, background, nationality, accent your vehicle has, it is an amazing vehicle. It is a divine vehicle loaned to you by the divine. And you are the light that is helping navigate time and space through this vehicle, but you are absolutely not limited by that vehicle. And neither is anyone else, no matter what their vehicle is as well. And so when you remember that, when you remember, I am that spiritual heart, which is everywhere, it's actually as wide as the world. I'm just inviting you to feel that. You all can feel that, right? When you identify with your spiritual heart, it's as wide as the world. It has room for everyone, beyond judgment, beyond fear, beyond separateness. Everyone is embraced in that spiritual heart. Everyone is your family. And you can feel all the love, all the goodness, all the support in the universe with you. And then notice just inspiration, opportunity, positivity, connectedness, gladness, bliss, consciousness, wisdom, joy, gladness, generosity. Of course it's here. And this is what we're invited to do from moment to moment in daily life. So think about being in a family conversation, or think about being in a business meeting, or think about being on the bus, or think about being in any situation you've ever encountered in your life. I am not this body. I am not limited to this body. I am the spiritual heart, which embraces the whole world. And to actually move through time and space, sharing the gifts and the talents that you are here to share. That's what freedom is. That's what joy is. That's what conscious bliss is. And each of us is this always. And so I have also just a really quick story. Karuna and I did not coordinate our stories, but you'll see they kind of share some territory. All the goodness that we radiate, it comes back to us. And so this is an example of that. It's a story, it's a simple story about a woman driving on a highway, and she's driving along and there's a traffic accident and it's in the median and the car has overturned. And she looks at that car that's overturned and she says, oh my gosh, whoever was in that accident, they experienced some serious damage looking at that car. And she says, I just pray for them and I pray for their family. I pray that there may be healing. I pray that there may be wholeness. So she drives home. She gets a phone call. It's time to go to the hospital. Both of your sons are in the hospital. And she goes to the hospital and she finds out they were in that overturned car. And their friend was driving. That's why she didn't know the car. And she's like, I was praying for myself and I didn't know it. I was praying for my sons and I didn't know it. And her sons experienced pain. They experienced the trauma of being in the accident, but they were okay. They did walk away from the accident and into happy, healthy, whole, full lives. And so that's just a reminder. It is not possible to pray for another. Anytime we pray, we are praying for ourselves. It's not, there's no separate family. Like, you are connected to all the families in the universe. And so please let go of any feeling of loneliness and also let go of any feeling of strain, because what that means is that all the support that radiates through you also radiates back to you. And so just moment to moment, continually ask the divine, how is it that I may open my heart and with wisdom, with joy, with gladness, with generosity, being resolute and serene, how may I allow all the love in the universe to share through me? And how may I allow all the support in the universe to share through me? And then just notice that practically the way this happens will be different if you're talking to a 3-year-old, or if you're talking to a 53-year-old, or if you're talking to a 103-year-old. And just allow that to happen. It is that pure energy of potentiality. It is the pure energy of wholeness, the pure energy of creativity, the pure energy of connectedness and inspiration. Another thing from a human perspective that allows unconditional love to share through us always is to forgive. And so I'm inviting all of us, please forgive anyone you feel you have cause to forgive. And please forgive yourself for having experienced whatever you experienced in relation to that which you are invited to forgive. As you allow yourself to forgive the other and yourself, you keep the wisdom. You keep the wisdom. And it's not that you are condoning the wrong. You're just allowing the divine to take care of that. And I have shared before, and I'll just share briefly now, whatever we create, I just shared a positive example of it. Those positive prayers of healing radiated back to that giver of the positive prayers of healing almost instantly. Whoever caused you pain, they will feel directly themselves the pain that they created. You don't need to worry about that. That's between them and the laws of the universe. So don't worry about that. Keep the wisdom and open your heart. Keep the wisdom and let go of the past pain. Keep the wisdom and forgive them for not knowing better and not doing better. Forgive yourself for not knowing better and not doing better. And then resolve to know better. Resolve to do better. Resolve to be that unconditional love, that respect, that awareness, that presence, that dedication, that steadfastness, that responsiveness, that joy, that absolute healing right where you are. And trust that the divine has placed you exactly where it is optimal for you to be. And then your only task every moment is to open and to ask, may all the love in the universe radiate through me. May all the support in the universe radiate through me. And then also allow yourself to benefit because unconditional love will share itself with you as well in surprising, wonderful, brilliant, unexpected ways. And unconditional support will share itself with you as well, with genius, with divine timing. And so just open and celebrate, and then continue that sharing and allow the sharing to increase so that it becomes almost like a tsunami of light, a tsunami of radiance and unconditional love and support that shares through you. Thank God, and God bless us all.